This is the third sitting of the same drawing for predominantly for my Wackers students and for anyone else who's interested. As you can see, yeah, the general structure's there. There's some acknowledgement of the space around, but it's actually not enough for me. I've decided I want to go further. There's a very strong sense of light coming from the left, and I suppose in the distance. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to concentrate on the chair, but also on the chair in its surroundings. And so here we go. I'm just going to check. Oh, there you go. Check the axis here. That's just like that. So the same principles of having to be prepared to change whatever needs to be changed, not falling in love with any one particular part of the drawing, therefore not wanting to change it because you like it so much, and often that's the thing you have to change to get to the next phase. Killing your darlings, I think they say. Here we go. I'm using this rubber again to draw the light. It's coming very strongly in, and it's coming down here along that cross. Seems great. I think the last time I drew this, it was roughly around this time, although it's quite overcast outside, so there's not as strong a light as there was, but that's fine. You know, it's basically going in the same direction. Let's have a look. So I'm taking that angle, measuring the angle, putting the pencil and putting it directly on immediately in one movement, like that. All right. There's actually a stronger light coming through here now. There wasn't there before, but I'm going to use it. Why not? It's going to help me, I believe, explain the space behind more effectively, because there's a floorboard I've just seen. It goes down here and follow it all the way out. Goes back up, all the way up. See, these lines actually follow through all the way back to here. Sometimes that can be of use. The more believable the space around the chair is, the more three-dimensional the chair becomes, or seems to be. It's in a slightly different position, I think, than it was, but there you go. I don't really mind so much. I'll just change the drawing. And tonally, that was before darker in the background, and now it's the other way around. So I'm going to change that. It's very light coming in. You've got to wrestle with these things at times. There's no point being too precious with it. Think Frank Auerbach, 1 year on a drawing, papers ripped to shreds because of the amount of times he's actually changed the work. It's that level of rigour that I would love everyone to have, but I don't think it's going to be the case this time. It's down here, look at that. So I'm using the darkness in the split of the floorboards now to actually bring out somehow the space. This isn't a rule, there are no rules as far as that's concerned for me, but this is something that I want you to go back. Another thing I've noticed, oh, that's in a wrong position. Yeah, see there's an axis here, but the window, I'm going to find the middle part of the window. Where would that be? It's around there. Look, there's this axis of the window going in this direction, and then the chair in this direction, and then the bed parallel with the window. That being the window. So here, I've decided to extend this drawing to that. And then there's a sort of darkness. The curtain comes down here. And the other curtain opens to there. So this is actually thinner. Now I'm just going to block this in. I decided to, now that I've committed to it. That's the bed, the unmade bed. Bottom of the bed goes down here. So I'm using these construction lines now to sort of navigate across the room. Look. Getting a bit dark, blunt. Now, no, that's too light. I'm going to use a softer pencil for this. That'll do. Yeah, that goes back here. Oh, that's a bit weird. That one goes there. No. Okay. I can see the bed just above that line, which suggests that all goes back here. So how I'm actually approaching this is not so much, all right, I've done the chair, now I'll do the background. Because I'm including more of the background, that probably means changing the chair as well. There's parts of the chairs that I realise don't actually work in the way I want it to work, or are just wrong, anatomically wrong. And it seems important to me to get that in this particular drawing, get that right, to get the proportions right. In this exercise, and that's what it is what I actually want you to do. It's not so much make a beautiful drawing of a chair and stop when you like it. It's more to do with learning about killing your darlings, learning about looking, learning about actually how to draw what you see rather than what you are imagining or thinking at the time. You're responding to a set of not proportions.
10.
And that's something that I want in these drawings you to think about actually dealing with them and allowing those to help you in your decision making. Now I've just been told that that's 10 minutes. Feels, there we go. There's a whole darker side here. So I'm going to firstly just put back, because I don't want it to, I don't want it to compete with the light shining on this. So there's a whole thing going back here as well, which I first of all, I'm just going to very simply shade in, so it's not taking too much of the attention. That light there is distracting from the light there. That light up there. So I'm just putting that here for now, very simply. Just putting a tone over it. There's definitely light shining on the bed in the distance. And there's definitely a strong light coming from here and here. And what I also want to do is, what happens when you look out of that window? Well, it doesn't just stop. There is a sort of, take my time, and I will, but maybe I'll do that in the next phase of this drawing. But for now, this is just a slight indication of it's light, but there's foliage outside. So I might want to devise a kind of mark somehow that suggests that without killing the light. Comes down, you can go to the top of the pillows, you can see them here. Get back to the whole story here. There's quite a big bit. See, here I go again with the negative and the positive shapes. Now you can see at the side there is a chair, a small chair at the side. Now, I'm just looking at the negative shapes rather than immediately going in to draw. So for example, here's the top of the chair, just going in there, the legs, but behind there, and then you've got a shape in between, and you've got the back of the chair. You know, all of this can be worked out or not. I mean, all of it can be taken further. It doesn't always have to go. Sometimes it's enough said with just a suggestion, but I'll decide that as I go along, what does work or what doesn't. Here. So, hold on, that doesn't make sense there. Distracting, it's here. That's a bit weird. It goes up to there. So it's sometimes more difficult to simplify it than to immediately follow loads of details. So that one actually comes down here. Made a mistake there. Here comes the curtain. The thing here. This is pretty much in the darkness going back. So I'm just going to knock that back there. Here we go again, coming round to the table, to the chair, sorry. There we go, slower. Get that angle right. And it's not finished yet. It's actually gone into a new phase now where I think this is probably about 15, 20 minutes almost now.
Yes.
Right. Do you know what? Let's have a look where we are right now. 1 second. It's not finished, but it's in a new phase. So, wait a second. You know, on YouTube, luckily, you can fast forward this and rewind, so you can look at it at your own good pace and not at mine, I'm glad to say. But there's a sort of different fight going on here now. This seems a bit wobbly. Get that back there. Oops. Running out of pencils and grip. Let's see what's happening. Okay, this is where we're at right now. And this is the third phase. Take your drawings that you made last week and work on them. Don't start new ones. Try and work on the same drawings. See where it goes. Just see it as an experience rather than whether it's better or worse. Okay, that's all, folks.